Hi and welcome along to DR Sports. We are here for our match reaction to the game that we just saw earlier. Liverpool drawing 1-1 with Crystal Palace, a really entertaining game. And we want to get your reactions on the game. I'm joined by Ali, Crystal Palace fan, and also Doyle, Liverpool fan. And first of all, guys, got to say, it was a great game. It's the 30th anniversary today of the Premier League being formed. And that game, again, epitomises the Premier League. Fantastic game.
Yeah, it was a really good game. I think the way we played and the way Eze and Zaha brought it to Liverpool at Anfield just shows the lack of fear we have. But again, Liverpool showed that resilience that they've got under Klopp. I think the game had everything. Sending off as well.
It did.
He said. Quality everywhere in the Premier League, isn't he? Absolute quality. I was literally talking about Trent and how bossy he is, being the best in the world and all that. And then he got nutmegged by Eze, and then got skinned by Eze, and then he slotted the through ball to Zaha, and he slotted it against Ella. So that's the type of thing that you're looking at in the Premier League. A team could be 12th, 13th, 14th, but they still have them star players that have got so much talent that otherwise in other leagues would be in the top teams. So this is the best league in the world, and it just goes to show it when Crystal Palace can go to Anfield and get a point easily. Easily is the word. They did it easily.
I don't know about that. At the end, I felt like if anyone was going to score, it was going to be Liverpool.
With 10 men, it was weird, weren't it?
It was a weird last half an hour. It felt like you had the man advantage.
Even though we had one man less, it was like it sort of like kicked us up the bum a little bit to like move us on, and it was. I just can't believe. I genuinely just can't believe we're going to talk about it now. Nunez. I just can't believe that, man. You know, like I just didn't. I've never seen an ill temperament from him. But I think Robbie said something perfect to describe it. He missed a lot of chances in that game, and I think he was frustrated with himself and just wanted to lash out on somebody. And to be honest, it's not acceptable. It's really not. You can miss chances, lad, and that's okay. You're learning how to get into the game in the Premier League, but this is not acceptable. And I hope Klopp tells him that. Because, like I said it in the stream, kids watch you, lad. You're a role model, mate. There's so many Scouse kids that are watching you right now, and they're looking at you headbutt people. That's silly. You've got to play with your feet, lad, and show them how it's done. That's not how it's done, kid. Right, DIAZ, that's how it's done.
We'll get into Darwin Nunez in a minute, but first of all, let's just have some facts around the game. 73% of the possession to Liverpool, 27% to Palace, 24 shots for Liverpool, despite going down to 10 men, 7 for Palace, 4 on target, though, for Liverpool. Only 4, 3 on target for Palace. 4 corners to Liverpool, 2 to Palace, 7 fouls Liverpool, 8 for Palace. Palace came with a tactic, and you said when we was doing the stream that you thought you weren't too sure about it. 5 at the back, it looked a bit negative. It worked. Yeah,
it worked perfectly for 60 minutes. And those stats are like stats we had under Roy Hodgson, Roy Ball. We just sit back and let the other team attack. I was fearful of it because it's the way we played in the FA Cup semi-final against Chelsea, and it didn't work. And Tyrick Mitchell and Nathaniel Klein aren't really natural wing-backs at all. But I thought for 60 minutes, Vieira tactically outwitted Klopp. But then when the red card happened, it was almost like we didn't know what to do. The game plan we've had has been working perfectly. What do we do now? And who dealt with the variable of the red card the best? It was Liverpool. That they came at us after that, and if anyone was going to get the winner, it felt like Liverpool at the end.
It was a great goal by Crystal Palace, though, wasn't it, to open it up? Great counter-attack. Eze with a fantastic bit of skill. Plays in Zaha, and Zaha clinical with the finish.
Yeah, I mean, I said before the game, people have been asking me about Conor Gallagher. I think Eze needs to play in that advanced central role. If you speak to QPR fans, that's where he belongs. And he really thrived in that today. The skill was unbelievable. To do that at Anfield as well shows that he really has no fear. And then the finish from Zaha, I said it in the stream, he's one of the most disrespected players in the league for me. 14 goals last season. That's the most for any player in the bottom 10. And the finish was exquisite. And yeah, it was a great goal. And we could have had another in the first half.
Yeah, you had chances, didn't you? You had chances, good chances as well.
Yeah, good ones. Wilf had another one, didn't he? It just fell on his left foot, which isn't his strength. So it's a weird feeling sitting here, because before the game, if you'd given me a point, I would have said yes, please. Particularly with, we've got Villa, but after that, Man City away. But I'm a little bit disappointed that we didn't take all 3. Fair
play to Liverpool, though. 1-0 down, 10 men. But they still come back into the game, and again, another brilliant goal by
DIAZ.
A real star in your team now, DIAZ. I mean, fantastic.
It's what we want to be. So Luis DIAZ was fantastic. I mean, he's lovely to watch, but we had questions about his end product. I think today he answered that in a short term. We hope that he keeps doing that for the rest of the season.
A real sort of Salah-esque goal, wasn't it?
It was brilliant, mate. It was it was genuine quality. Beat a few men, whacked it, went bottom bin. Wonderful, got us back into the game. And we needed that. That's what we need Nunez to be doing as well. We need goals from all of our front forwards because we're missing Mane. And Mane was, how many goals did he score for us every season? Just under 20, just over 20. He contributed so much to that team that it's time for Nunez. It's time for DIAZ to step up and score them goals. Jota's already done it. He's been proven already. He scored 15 goals, 21 goals last season, 15 in the Prem. So he's already doing it. We just need this team now to believe that they can get the steam rolling like they were with the other lads, with Mo and Bobby and Mane, and it's just going to take a while. I think this is probably the worst start to a season I've seen in the last 4 or 5 years, which is very disappointing. But what can you do, lad? What can you do? Tactically, we're better than us today. Eze, like I said, what they did was Patrick Vieira sat back and relied on the quality that he had up front, which was Eze and Zaha, and they both delivered for him. That's the Premier League. You can't waste chances. You can't sit on your laurels. And it's just so weird for me, right? Because when we played in the Community Shield, I don't know if you've watched that. We were fantastic, We were brilliant. Darwin Nunez was brilliant. Mo Salah was fantastic. So I don't know if we're getting complacent. I don't quite know what it is. Maybe the pitch was dry. Maybe it was too wet.
Let's get into. There's a load of comments coming in here. Elite Salesman says Zaha missed 3 chances. Those aren't counted as shots on target. That's why the stats are so wicked. That's probably true there. Jason Morris says I think Liverpool missed Mane big time.
Me too.
It's a sort of game in it where Mane just turns up. He's a big time player, digs you out of that. That's although DIAZ did do that. He digs you out, but Mane's a guy who could probably turn up with a winner there. Karen says Zaha and Eze both better than Saka. He's trying to cause trouble here. But they were both brilliant. They were both brilliant.
Zaha got 14 goals last season. Saka got 11.
All right, steady on. Power to the people says I love seeing Liverpool lose. Ilias, Liverpool fan, says we needed Jota in that game.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have signed Nunez. He's not good enough. Ooh.
I think we've got to wait for that one. You can't say he's not good enough yet. His behaviour is definitely not good enough. That is not acceptable. It's end of. No, never do that again, lad, when you play for in the red shirt. You can't do that.
Cheesy says Nunez has a talent, but he needs to control his temper because the Premier League players will annoy him a lot. That's very true. I think every single player now will be trying to wind him up after seeing that.
This is what you've done. You've put yourself a target on your back, lad. You just got to be a professional now and play with your feet.
Yep.
If you want to beat these players, lad, use your feet because you've got the talent to do it. That's all we need from you, lad.
Andy Illingworth says Liverpool drew 3 and lost 3 when they won the league with 99 points.
Yeah.
Nowhere near over. Well, no one's saying it's over.
Definitely not.
Although some people in the chat suggesting that this guy Shekel says City 4 points clear of Liverpool, like he's suggesting like the league could be over already.
It's 2 games in,
Liverpool bottled the league again, says Meg. After 2 games.
Do you know what's
Come on, man. It's crazy.
What, Robbie? This league wouldn't have been half as good without Liverpool chasing City the way they have. So you want to thank Liverpool for bringing that tempo because the league would have been boring.
Leachy says, I adore the team and genuine energy of the fans and believe they actually support the players, win, lose or draw. Liverpool fan there. Darwin Nunez, literally disgraceful. I don't even think Xhaka would have done that. And that's coming from Denzel Robert. Eze was brilliant, says Shekel again. Yeah. Van Dijk, United could take him out and get a job done. Liverpool are in the mud, says Jason. And let me get one more. Denzel says, how do 10 men Liverpool dominate Crystal Palace, fam? Elite Liverpool FC. Give them respect. Let's talk Darwin Nunez. I mean, what was he thinking and what was he doing? A stupid headbutt. He's 2 headbutts in there.
Yeah.
What's he doing?
I think you can see Anderson in the build-up is winding him up by pulling his shirt, but you've got to be able to deal with that at the highest level. And I said it in the stream, if Wilfried Zaha did that, the headlines would be and the things about his attitude would be ridiculous. It's far
I think
too
the headlines are still.
it's going to be
the
bad.
headlines are going to be terrible.
I mean, it's ridiculous to be writing Nunez off at this point. People were doing it in pre-season, which is outrageous. But he has to learn his lesson quickly, because you can't be doing that. And I think, as you were talking about, people talking about Liverpool being out of the title race, I think that's because City have set the barrier so high. And, you know, he will hopefully be apologising to his teammates in the dressing room. Because
Well, the thing is about it, right, is that not only did he get sent off and probably cost his team any hope of getting 3 points, and they've been lucky to get a point out of it, really, he's also now going to miss the next 3 games.
Yeah, because it's a straight red.
Because it's a straight red for violent conduct. He's out for 3 games. And even for him personally now, when he does, is able to come back, suppose Firmino's come in and banged in a few goals, he might not get his place back for a while. Suppose Jota's come in and got fit, and you can't afford to be doing things like that when you're playing at a club like Liverpool. You might get your place back. £85 million or not. Oh, sorry, 65 million add-ons.
65, yeah.
I think he just added on some negative stuff to that.
Klopp won't let him start after that type of behaviour. He won't. He's going to instill discipline. And we've got to remember, right, these people are young men, yeah. They're 22. They're surrounded by thousands of fans that are giving them all kinds of mad energy. They're getting prodded and poked. Like, there's a lot of pressure on them, so they're going to do stupid things in their lives and they're going to make stupid reactions, and that's what this is. So we can all understand that that's what everybody on this planet does. We'd sometimes do stupid things that we regret. What I want to see from him now is to come back into the team, bounce back, humble himself, and start playing the football that we know we can play. Because what that was just complacent, childish stupidness. That's why Klopp, when he went off, you see Klopp didn't even look at him, lad.
Yeah.
Because Klopp's like, what are you doing, mate? You're a professional footballer. You get paid millions of pounds. You're just an example to kids. This is not the example I want for my Liverpool team.
I'm interested to see what he'll say in his interview, because there's a lot of focus on Klopp's interviews at the moment and the excuses and that. I'd be interested to hear what he comes out and says about that. Do you think he'll call him out?
I can tell you, I've got some of his comments.
Okay.
Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp spoke to Sky Sports after. He said it was a really good start, exactly what we wanted, showing a lot of desire. It was all there. We were then unlucky in situations. The game plan for Palace was obviously to have 5 at the back, get men behind the ball and go on the counter-attack. It was difficult with the speed of Zaha. The second half again started positive, but getting the red card was a knockback. Of course, it was a red card. He was provoked. That is not how you should behave.
Exactly.
Then we equalised 4 minutes later with 10 men putting in such a good effort. My real feeling now is that I am proud.
Yeah, and he should be, because the 10 men, like we said, when that actually happened, we played better. It was like we played with 12 men on the pitch rather than 10. And I don't want to say Nunez coming out of the team is the reason we played better. It was almost a reality check, like, you need to wake up now, otherwise you're not going to get anything from this game. And that's what happened. And I did say, while we were watching the stream during the 60th minute, is usually when Liverpool, they seem to switch on. But they switched on in 2 different ways. One got sent off and then we scored a goal. So, you know, we did switch on.
Yeah. James Milner, speaking after the game, said, I didn't see the incident. Nunez's red card. Surprise, surprise. He's going to be disappointed in that. We have to get around him and rally. He will learn from it. The team reacted well, and the ground did as well and get behind us. We could have nicked it, but it wasn't to be. Good teams react to disappointments and stick together. You see the readiness for the season and the fight. We have had a tough week, and the preparations have not been ideal. Nobody can deny we have fighting spirit.
I think you got really good, solid, experienced pros in that dressing room to get behind him, like Henderson and Milner, and that's one of the reasons I think Liverpool are where they are every year. And I think that they need to get behind him, because he's had a hard time from the fans pre-season, as I said, and the hype's going to go further now against him.
He needs to be a proper professional now, and you know, Mane and Mo Salah, do you know what they are? The best professionals, and that's why they're the best in the game. Because all of the noise, the good noise, the bad noise, none of it matters, lad. They keep their head down and they play the football, and that's what you're going to have to do, Nunez. Mane and Salah.
Mane ain't there no more.
Yeah, I know.
He's gone.
That's who
he's gone.
And you could tell that today. You could tell that today.
That's what I'm saying. He's
come
to replace him. So if you're gonna replace somebody like Mane, you're gonna have to be as professional as him. That's why you do it at the top
You miss
of the
him.
game.
You miss him, innit?
Absolutely.
Already.
Of course we do. He was an integral player of our team for the last 5 years. We loved him, not just for the goals that he scored, not just for the assists, but the impact he had on the game and the fight he had was just incredible. He never give up. He always run. He was just. Of course we miss him. Of course we do.
I mean, speaking neutrally, I think he's one of the most underrated players in the Premier League history. I think he's just overshadowed by Salah, and he always scored against Palace as well.
He was incredible footballer.
Crystal Palace scorer Wilfried Zaha spoke to Sky Sports afterwards. He said, we just knew it was going to be hard work and it was a case of taking our chances. We knew we'd have to suffer, but our plan was to soak it up and take our chances. So I'm happy with the point. And on his goal, he said they were pushing forward and I was looking for space in behind. It only takes one chance and I'm glad I took it today. As soon as Eze played it through, I had it in my mind that what I wanted to do. I didn't want the goalkeeper to set himself, so I just took it early.
Yeah, it was an outstanding finish. And, you know, like I said, last season, 14 goals. I think he'll be trying to beat that this season. So that'll be interesting to see. I thought Eze was outstanding today. Absolutely outstanding. He played like he had the freedom of Anfield for the first 60 minutes. I don't really understand why Vieira took him off. It's interesting Zaha says he's happy with the point because you could tell from Vieira's substitutions that we were happy with the point. Brought on 2 defensive midfielders in Fuse and Luka Milivojevic. But, you know, before the game we would have taken the point, particularly given we've got Man City coming up soon as well.
Go from Zaha, that. Really like that. You know why? Ali's one of the best one-on-one goalkeepers in the world. He really is. And Zaha's done his studying to do that, you know. He really has. Because if he comes out, Ali, he's saving that. And he done it earlier in the game. So he's like, you know what? You're not doing this to me again, lad. I'm going to slot this.
Yeah, there's been many narratives thrown against Zaha for his career. One of them was that he had no end product. As I said, 14 goals last season.
That's intelligent footballer.
Yeah. His end product's improved brilliantly over the last few seasons. And that was a good example again of a great finish.
In his later 20s, he's matured.
Yeah, I mean, not just in the finishing. You saw a ball he played through for Eze at one point in the game as well. His all-round play has improved brilliantly. Just long may it continue.
Great point for Crystal Palace, isn't it? I mean, when you think of the start, that, you know, I hear everybody talking about all this start, that start, difficult start. I mean, your start, first 2 games, Arsenal at home, Liverpool away. That's a very hard start, and you've got a point out of it. And Villa at home, your next game, chance to get going at your place. I mean, how are you feeling for this season? What do you think you can do?
I think the aim has to be top 10. We should have got top 10 last season and would have done if we hadn't conceded so many late goals. There's so many examples in my head. At the Emirates, last minute was one. Also, we 16 goals conceded from set pieces last season. So we can't throw away points. And in a way, I'm quite pleased we held on for the 1-1 because perhaps last season we would have completely thrown in the towel. So I think definitely going for top 10, and also I think the cup run. I remember being in this studio for the semi-final against Chelsea, and my emotions were very different to when we lost the final against Man United the year of the Pardew dance, because that felt like the end of a team. But we knew Balassi was leaving, we knew Jedinak was coming to the end of his career. This side is only getting started. Elise came on for the last 2 minutes. You saw what Eze and Zaha did dancing around Anfield today. Imagine Zaha on the left, Eze in the middle, Elise on the right. That will bring it to any team in this league.
Wow. You a little bit worried with the start? I mean, 2 games started off that if you looked on that, when that fixture list came out and you saw first game Fulham away, second game Palace at home, you're thinking 6 points, aren't you, as Liverpool? You've only got 1 point out of it, and you go to Old Trafford next.
Don't know what to say to you, Robbie. If we lose against Man United, that's when I'll start to worry. Right now, it's definitely not the ideal start, is it? Especially when we've got Matip injured, Kanate injured, Jota injured. Like, it's not being nice for us. I feel like we had a false hope when we beat Man City in the Community Shield so well. We were the better team, and it's Man City, like, they played their full-strength team. It's just been a terrible start, but I'm not worried. It's only 2 games in. It's 2 draws.
I'm worried the fact that, your main man, right,
Nunez.
tonight, Darwin Nunez, £85 million investment. He's not off to a very good start, is he?
No, he's not, but he's young. He's 22. This is what we've got to realise with these kids. There's lots of players in this league that have been terrible or not being the best when they first started. An example of it would be David De Gea. He went from being genuinely heckled by his own fans to being one of the best goalkeepers in the world. You've got to give these players time. He's come in, he's got loads of pressure on him, like you said, 85 million, 65 million. Price tag on him. It's not good for these type of players. That's why Haaland's got a little edge in that as well. He's got 60 million on his head. It's not the most expensive signing. He has got an edge there, and mentality-wise. So I just hope that these players, like we said, these Milners, these Hendersons, the Virgils, they all get round him and try and help that mentality of him, because he's been bombarded from before he even kicked the ball in the full season for Liverpool, and it's not fair on him. Like, so let's hope this makes him stronger and not weaker. That's what I'm hoping for.
A poll was done. Liverpool fans, are you worried about the title charge? 1,300 people voted. 74% worried.
I mean, you're gonna say worried about. We win our first 5 games and you're still worried about not winning the league, because that's what City do, mate. They're fantastic. There's no two ways about it. Man City are a fantastic football team, and to beat them, you have to be near perfect. And we have beat them, and we have done it before, and we take them right to the edge for the last 5 seasons. So I don't feel like we can't do it. City did it last season. City lost their first few games, or they drew, or whatever else, and they had a really bad start. You seen Chelsea at the top of the league on Christmas. We've got a lot of time to go, guys. Do not worry. We'll see what happens.
What if we don't win though next week?
I will worry then. And the reason why I'll worry then is not necessarily because we've lost another game or we drew another game. It's that Manchester United in this moment are a shambles.
Yeah, anyone should be worried.
You. Like, I know your own fans will admit to this. Like, your team is not anything like it used to be, and you're not a formidable side anymore. You're bottom of the league right now because you haven't been able to do anything.
Genius says Liverpool v Man United, a relegation battle on Monday
night.
I said it in the stream. Whoever loses, appoint Sean Dyche. So
really legit says, let's be real. Elliott isn't that guy to be the difference maker in the midfield. Phillips isn't Premier League ready.
Phillips is not ready. He didn't seem ready.
Anibus the God says Mane is not miss. He says laugh out loud. I think he's saying he definitely is.
We miss him. We all miss him.
Shekel says if Liverpool lose to Man United, it's going to look bad.
Yep.
Hemel says Liverpool fans moaning about injuries. Laugh out loud. How does it feel?
What do you mean? How does it feel? We had a season where we had literally every centre back injured. What are you talking about, lad?
Elias says it was 64 million plus add-ons, Robbie.
Right? Yeah, see? 64 million.
They don't want to have they paid 85 million. Embrace it. The Watcher says Nunez will come good. Liverpool fans just need to chill.
Yeah, we just need to relax.
Yeah, definitely.
So much pressure.
It's far too
Jack Napier says Mane was more instrumental than inconsistent Salah to the Liverpool team. He had a quiet game tonight, Salah, didn't he?
He did, yeah. And Mane was the most consistent player. He'd give you a solid 8 out of every single game.
Can I just say, Tyreek Mitchell can let Salah out of his pocket now, because he had a very good game on him.
Ooh. He did have a good game. He did have a very, very good game. The great Man United, the great man expressions once called, this is Warren Buller saying, Nunez, the Uruguayan Andy Carroll.
This is terrible. The way modern football is nowadays, you have 2 kicks of a football and you get cancelled already.
Yeah,
these are people. These are like human beings, guys.
He's not put himself in a. I mean, it's your home debut.
He hasn't, and I can't defend him.
It's like the debut from hell, isn't it?
It is
your home debut in front of Liverpool, in front of the lights. You told me. Expectations are high. I know it must be, because I know, like, when I went to the game on Saturday, Gabriel Jesus debut.
Brilliant.
Every fan walking up to that game, I'm like, who you really want to see? Jesus. So it'd be the same. Everyone would be like,
absolutely.
Nunez. I mean, it's his home debut. Like you said, did well in the Community Shield. Scored as well against Fulham.
Yeah, he did, and he got an assist as well.
Scored against Fulham, so everyone's thinking, yeah, I want to see Darwin Nunez in the flesh. And he had a horror show. Not only did he get some of the chances he missed as well.
He did miss a few chances.
He had a couple of chances. I mean,
I'm okay with that.
And like you said, listen, the thing we got to remember, he must be one nervous guy. That price tag on your head, first time in front of those fans at Anfield. I know he played there for Benfica, but this is different.
So much expectations on a young 22-year-old kid. Like, he's only a kid still, and there's so much pressure on him. That's why he's done this stupid thing today. I don't condone it. It's absolutely wrong. But these are the reasons he's been getting taunted all pre-season before he even kicked the ball for us. And I guess when you become a professional footballer,
it's the pressure of playing for Liverpool.
Yeah, you'd have to be able to deal with these things. This is part of the game, and it's awful. And I'm sorry that these guys, it's not just Liverpool, it's lots of different teams. I'm sorry that you.
But he's going to get compared to Haaland all season.
He is, yeah, and it's not fair, lads. It's not. I mean, it is.
You said he'd score more. You said he'd score more goals than Haaland.
I did, and I
before
still
the game.
believe that. I still believe that.
Well, he's going to play 3 less Premier League games.
He is, lads.
Because he's out for free now.
But then also, Haaland does get injured, so let's see what happens there. 2 games in.
Klopp will spend that Coutinho money soon, he says. VJ says, massive contract extensions lately leading to a drop in form. Can Salah pick back up?
Salah was fantastic against Man City in the Community Shield. I don't know if anyone watched it. We've had 2 performances that have been poor, and I put it down to complacency. That's what I put it down to. Liverpool winning Man City in the Community Shield, going, oh yeah, we're doing everything right now. So we're going to go into Fulham, a team that's just been promoted. We'll beat these. Complacency, this is what teams do. Man City do it too. Everyone does it. We'll come back. It's 2 games in. Don't worry. It's 2 games in. I am sweating.
I'm not worried.
I think he's protesting a bit too much. Not worried.
Anthony came in at 67 says Liverpool can get the job done today. I mean, let's put a bit of respect on Palace, though. They were brilliant.
Yeah, they were. I've been saying it all day. Eze, they had quality. He set up tactically. His tactics worked against Klopp. He's played against them loads. And now he's got his first bit of points, hasn't he?
I think we talked a lot about the attackers for Palace, but I thought the defenders... Anderson, who got compared to Ronald Koeman by Carragher, which was a bit too much. But also Mark Gahey had a really good game. There's a couple of really crucial interventions. And I honestly think Gahey, if Southgate went with a back 3 as a shout to get in the England team for the World Cup.
Yeah. I mean, would you say you're saying top 10 this season, top 10 finish for Palace?
I think the thing that holds me back is we're very, very bad at defending set pieces, although we did very well on that tonight.
Did well tonight.
Yeah, we did very well, and we have to improve that because 16 goals conceded from set plays last season. That is the reason some fans said it was because we got distracted by the cup. Vieira doesn't get distracted. He wants to win every game. You cannot concede 16 goals from set pieces and finish in the top 10 because it's tough. You've got so many teams going for that now. Newcastle are investing. Villa are investing. You have to get your levels really, really high. If we can get that right, then yeah, we can get top 10. Some people talk about Europe. I'm not going to put that out there, but I do think we're very, very capable of going on another cup run. Got Oxford away in the Carabao Cup. I quite fancy us in that because as we've shown today, on our day, we can bring it to anyone. And I'll come back to it. Michael Olise, I don't think the Premier League really know what's coming with this guy.
Okay, brilliant. DIAZ says the reason people make memes of Nunez is because of the hype created by Liverpool fans, the media and pundits. It's their own creation.
It's not.
He's going to miss the next 3, says Jack Napier. Jason Morris says, laugh out loud, help the Liverpool guy, give him a tissue, he says, right? Klopp said, Derek Rolfe says, this is funny. Derek Rolfe, that's a funny one. He said Klopp should have played "You Never Walk Alone" at the training ground to get Nunez ready for the game.
See, people love to hate on Liverpool. This is what he's... I get it. We've been the best for ages. You can hate on us if you want.
Loon Jan says, this is not good for Manchester United. Now Liverpool are going to bury whoever shows up next. Liverpool and Man United relegation scrap at the end of the season. Placed a bet on it already.
And Everton as well in that one as well.
Eco says the Liverpool golden era is only 2 years. The boys are tired. Salah is over the hill now.
No, come on.
Jesus Christ.
Honestly, the modern day
crazy
football,
reaction here.
It's social
crazy.
media, isn't it?
It's madness.
And that's part of the reason the pressure on Nunez is his social media era. For a player to be under pressure in pre-season, it's unheard of. But that's what we're saying, that the experienced guys need to get behind him in the dressing room, like Milner and Henderson.
Nunez, he needs to learn a lesson from this right now, and it's a big lesson that he can learn. He's only 22, and he can take it very far in his career if he learns now. Just not listen to any of the noise. Good, bad, doesn't matter. You keep your head down, and you learn the football, lad, and you play the football, and that's it. Klopp is going to tell him as well. I really do believe Klopp will help him.
Yeah, Lars says Man United Liverpool will be one hell of a game. Before we round it up, I want to find out from you guys, right? Get your man of the match for your team.
Okay.
So man of the match for your team. Ali, Crystal Palace man of the match.
I'm going to go... I want to give a big shout out to Tyreek Mitchell again because he did have a really good game on Salah, but it has to be Eze. And I think he had that really bad injury. He was going to be called up for the England squad, and on the day he got that injury. Last season was about getting him back fit. This season he's ready to go. A lot of chat about how we'll miss Conor Gallagher, but Eze plays in that advanced central role that Gallagher played, and I think he's the more unique talent.
Technically brilliant player.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a battle to hold on to him if he stays fit over the next
absolutely. I mean,
seasons.
I think someone said in the stream, how do we get him? I don't know how we got Elise as well. I think people need to be tapping into the market. It's like, is there a snobbery about the Championship market? You even look at Arsenal. You got Ben White, but you got him late on, where you ended up spending around 50 million. Why are the big clubs not getting these guys earlier? Because at some point, Eze is going to go
come from the Championship.
Eze
from QPR.
When they come from there, they're hungry.
Elise from Reading.
Yeah,
They want it more.
At some point, and obviously I hope Eze plays for Palace forever. We've got to be realistic. At some point, we're going to get 50 million plus for Eze, I reckon.
I agree. Even more, lads. 70, 80.
Yeah.
He's only young still, isn't
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, 50 million plus add-ons.
Well, yeah, a lot of other ones, because he's going to achieve a lot in his career. The last thing I'll say on Eze is I think he could be a late shout to creep into that England squad.
I would like to see him there.
Might have a little bit too much flair for Southgate, but
yeah, I don't know what you mean.
That's a great shout. I mean, he might come a little bit late, but
there's a lot of numbers for the squad, the most ever though.
But I like him. I've always liked him as a player.
Brilliant.
I just love players that are so skillful in that, and he just fits the beat.
He just glides past players.
Fantastic player.
So
Fantastic. And your man of the match?
I'm going to give it to two players. So Trent, he was the only one asking questions all game. He was trying to thread balls through, and he was doing it well. He did have a bit of defensive frailties, but that's part of his game. So I think he done fantastically well. He can hold his head up high. And DIAZ is always a threat, constantly a threat, and he showed it today, and he scored a fantastic goal.
Great goal.
I'm happy with them too. The rest of the lads, I think, when Henderson and Gomez come on, they were fantastic. Other than that, need to work on the training field again, don't we, lads? And just go again next time and let's smoke. If there's anything that can cheer me up after 2 draws, at the start of the season, it's beating United at Old Trafford.
Well, Librova says Liverpool versus Man United is going to be a madness. Pray for De Gea and Lisandro Martinez. Laugh out loud. Triple captain Salah. Catch him next. He says that week he's got a triple captain of Salah for next week in his fantasy football team. So he's going for it. Listen, we've come to the end. I want to thank everybody who watched the watch along earlier. Thank you to Ali and to Doyle. You both were both incredible on it. And it was a great game today. Thanks for you guys for getting involved in the chat as well. Don't forget to subscribe here to DR Sports. But it's ended tonight in a big game. Liverpool won. Crystal Palace won. Credit to Crystal Palace. Great. Credit to both teams. Credit to Palace for executing a great game plan and scoring a fantastic goal. But then credit to Liverpool. I did not feel like they had 10 men when Nunez got sent off. They still went for it. And to me, do not write Liverpool off. You know what I mean? They're going to be a force as usual. So thanks for watching. And don't forget to subscribe here to DR Sports. And we'll see you on the next one.